Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. So today I'm going to tackle, I'm going to compare and contrast the three models of communication. So, communication models refer to the conceptual frameworks or theories that explain the way of human communication. It also represents the entire process of communication between the sender and the receiver. Additionally, communication models explain the elements of the communication process. For example, context, sender, receiver, encoding, decoding, channel, message, feedback, and noise. These are the 9 components of communication that describe the entire process of communication. However, some communication models do not have all these elements or features. For example, the linear model of communication does not have feedback. The communication model also explains the factors that prevent effective communication, known as barriers or noise in communication. The linear model of communication is a one-way interaction where feedback is not present. Linear is a primary communication model, whereas the transactional model is formed based on the linear model. The sender communicates to the receiver without receiving feedback. It also represents the one-way process of communication. So, the interactive model of communication refers to the two-way method communication with feedback. However, feedback is not simultaneous, so it provides its own and slow and indirect feedback. Sometimes a communication can be linear if receivers do not reply to senders. The interactive model of communication indicates mediated and internet-based communication. For example, Osgood's Scrum model of communication and Wesley and McLean's communication model are interactive communication models. So the transitional model of communication seems like a two-way process of communication with immediate feedback. Simultaneous feedback is an essential component of the transitional models of communication. So the communication process will not become transactional if there is no feedback. The feedback is direct and very fast. The receiver is compelled to provide instant feedback. The major difference between the interactive and transactional models is indirect and direct feedback. For example, Wilbur Scrum's model of communication, Barnlund's transactional model of communication, Dan's helical model of communication, Eugene White's communication model are transitional communication models. The difference among the three is that linear model focus on how a message was transmitted and whether or not it was received. The difference of interactive model is that the receiver replies intentionally or unintentionally. Lastly, the difference of transaction model is that it's an exchange of message between the sender and the receiver. It is mostly for interpersonal communication. In the end, all three models do add to our understanding of the communication process. Perhaps the linear model may not have shown us that communication is a two-way process, or similarly, the interactive example does not tell us that any communicator can either be a sender or a receiver. Nonetheless, subsequent models seems to add to our understanding. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.